All right, so I'm going to be talking about Maniac of New York, Volume 2, The Bronx is Burning. So, I'm going to have to do a quick talk. I'm going to have to talk about real quick what this book is about. So, on the surface, Maniac of New York is about a killer called Maniac Harry who shows up in New York starting at the start of a new year, killing hundreds of people, and then vanishing. And then he'll suddenly come back and start killing people all over again. Like, basically, he comes in, he kills, and then he vanishes. And that's the crux of the story, is that this is like Jason Takes Manhattan, but with run! It's Jason Voorhees! Actually, due to international copyright law, it only looks like Jason. Still, we should run like it is Jason, even though it's not. So it's kind of like that. But that's just the surface level, like I said. That's the surface level of this book. The main focus of this book is actually like an underlying thing of talking about mass shootings in America. And using it through the lens of a slasher, instead of like killing his way through, some small town that, has its own rumors and hearsay. This is more about, this is basically like, what if a slasher took over like a big city and you couldn't kill him? So it's very much like that, but again, the underlying thing is, talking about America's malaise, like shock and then eventual malaise to, and numbness to mass shootings. That's kind of what it is. And I'm kind of simplifying it in my own way, but like that's the whole crux of the story, is that it's meant to be telling a story about guns and the string of mass shootings in America. It's a heavy subject, and this comic, while it has kills in it, and it's meant to be like a horror book, this book is not fun. And what I mean by that is, this book is not fun in the sense of it's a great, like, gory read and whatnot. It's like, it's a dumb, shut your brain off slasher. No, this book is pretty mean-spirited, and it's not for the faint of heart. Even if you're a die-hard slasher fan, I would be like, you gotta go in with this, because you're gonna get bummed out by the people in here. Not just Harry. You actually get relieved sometimes when Harry comes in and starts murdering fuckers, because it kind of takes away from, like, the fallout and, like, how disgusting the human race is. Not just in this book, but, like, in real life. So the story does pick up with our two main characters, Gina Green, who did survive Harry back in her teens, and Officer Pettibone, and she was on the task force to kill Harry. Both of them have lost their place in the police and the mayor's office, and are now teaming up to hunt down Harry as he now makes his way into the Bronx, into a school in the Bronx, more importantly, and then leading to, Dodger Stadium. This book is, again, it talks about, like, a lot of subjects, a lot of people I don't think realize go into, with these killings. Is that, one, you have, like, people trying to profit off of it, people making their own books. You have copycats who are, like, thieves pretending to be them. You have people who are using the social media to make their own gains, whether it be political or social standing. You have, you have social media itself playing with it. It's a bloody book. It also talks about, like, how inner cities are being bought out by major corporations and then taking out certain curriculums for them to replace with their own. It's some heavy shit. Like, it is some heavy shit that the writer puts out at the front. Elliot Callan, I think I'm saying his name right. This is a bloody book. Obviously, it's about a slasher, but I think the themes of what goes into it and what everything else is kind of also adds to it. Like, just kind of adds to it. This is not like I said, it's not a fun book to read. There's also a few books. There's also another minor character who shows up from the end of the first volume, where it's this little girl wanting to look for Green and Pettibone, and and that little girl's journey is kind of goes in dark places. And this how this book ends is also exactly how you would imagine, with like conspiracy theorists saying like, oh, it was a false flag or an inside job. It's really like, it kind of makes you like, it make you go, wow, the human race really fucking sucks. So yeah, I'm not gonna mince words. Pick up this book at your own discretion, because these characters themselves are like good people trying to do actual work, while red tape and, you know, people trying to get their own gains out of it make things worse. It's a bloody book. It's a depressing book. But I wouldn't be lying if I said I wouldn't enjoy reading the third volume, which I think comes out at the end of April, which I think is like the end of the series. I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard separately. I've heard two different things. If that's just another chapter in the book, or if that's the end of the Maniac of New York series. All in all, this book it's good, but like you really gotta put yourself through the ringer, because like it may be a slasher, but like the whole themes of like guns in America and how people use that to their advantage, or how they're trying to stop it, really come into play through the form of Maniac Harry. I forgot to mention, this was a comic sent to me by my good friend Chris, the Mount Vernon kid. Chris, thanks once again. And yeah, this is a tough book, but it's not for the faint of heart. If you thought you were getting a like dumb slasher comic, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That's pretty much my review of Maniac of New York, The Bronx is Burning. And yeah. So you guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it. If you've read it already, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.